Hooray!
Art with us!
What is the true meaning and interpretation of Sandro Botticelli's painting The Birth of Venus?
Which is considered one of the most iconic and unique works of art in history, boasting several firsts.
Known for its groundbreaking composition, ethereal beauty, and historical significance as the first large-scale mythological painting of the Italian Renaissance.
And what was the historical context of its creation?
What inspired Botticelli to paint The Birth of Venus?
This masterpiece portrays the Roman goddess Venus emerging from the sea on a seashell and arriving on the shores of Greece.
Learn about the artist's background, the historical context of the painting's creation, and the stylistic techniques used to bring this iconic image to life.
You'll be amazed by the insights you gain and the stories you hear.
Born in Florence in the 15th century, Sandro Botticelli was a prominent Italian artist during the early Renaissance period.
He began his career as a goldsmith before training under Fra Filippo Lippi.
Botticelli received commissions from wealthy families in Florence and produced several famous works of art, including La Primavera, Venus and Mars, and The Birth of Venus.
The Birth of Venus was created during the early Renaissance, a time of immense cultural and economic changes in Europe.
This period marked the end of feudalism and saw artists breaking away from the traditional two-dimensional idealized and iconographic Byzantine styles.
Instead, they started depicting more naturalistic subject matter, ushering in the Renaissance.
The painting was possibly commissioned by Lorenzo di Pierfrancesco de' Medici, a member of the powerful Medici family.
However, there is still debate surrounding the true identity of the commissioner and the original location of the painting.
It was one of the first paintings to be created on canvas,
a new medium for painting at the time, and it draws inspiration from classical mythology and literature.
My name is Pavla, and welcome to my channel.
If you're new, check out our channel by clicking our name below the video.
If you like our content,
subscribe and turn on notifications.
Join me, an artist passionate about sharing knowledge. Today, we have a special guest joining us. It's my husband, Peter.
Let's discover,
laugh,
and learn together.
And to add a bit of spice, stick around until the end for some slightly controversial Venus jokes.
At the center of the painting, we see the stunning figure of Venus in a graceful and idealized form, standing tall on her scalloped shell with a sense of movement and dynamism.
The surrounding elements highlight her beauty and serve as a backdrop to her magnificence.
Painting is a captivating nod to classical mythology, with influences from Greek and Roman art and popular literature of the time.
Let's take a closer look at the captivating painting and delve into its details.
At the center of the painting, we see Venus, the Roman goddess of love, standing gracefully on a large scalloped shell.
This shell is a symbol of fertility, representing the power of Venus as a goddess of love.
Her body is in a contrapposto stance, with her hands and hair strategically placed to cover her nudity.
She radiates beauty and perfection, with smooth milky skin and long golden hair that was inspired by the fashionable hairstyles of Botticelli's time.
To Venus's right, we see two winged figures blowing gentle breezes towards her.
These figures are Zephyr, the Greek god of the west wind, and Aura, which means breeze.
Their delicate features and billowing drapery reflect the gentle nature of spring.
On the left, we see the light blue of the ocean meeting the grassy shoreline and a hilly landscape with scattered trees in the distance.
In the right foreground, a female figure identified as the Aura of spring stands in a forest, holding out a floral cloak to cover Venus.
Her dress is adorned with flowers, symbolizing the arrival of the spring season.
The orange blossoms on the trees and the pink roses with gilded centers blown towards Venus further reinforce the theme of new beginnings.
What's also interesting about this painting is the use of gilded areas, such as the shoreline, Venus's shell, and the trees and their blossoms.
These areas create a sense of richness and luxury, adding to the painting's aesthetic appeal.
Botticelli's use of line in the Birth of Venus painting can also be seen in the composition of the figures. Venus, the central figure in the composition, is portrayed as the ideal of feminine beauty with her perfect body and flowing golden hair.
The figures of Zephyr and Aura blowing towards her, and the aura of spring waiting to clothe her, reinforce the theme of the arrival of spring and the renewal of life.
The shell on which Venus stands symbolizes not only her birth, but also the female genitalia, reflecting her role as a fertility goddess.
The blowing wind represents the divine intervention of the gods, and the force of nature that animates the world.
Botticelli's use of perspective and scale is subtle but effective, creating a sense of depth and distance between the foreground and background elements of the painting.
The floral patterns and blossoms in the painting represent the season of spring, symbolizing renewal, growth, and rebirth.
The pink roses with gilded centers blown towards Venus symbolize love, beauty, and perfection.
The Ori figure on the shore represents the arrival of spring and the abundance of nature during the season, as symbolized by her floral cloak.
Botticelli's use of line and perspective in the painting creates a sense of movement and depth, further enhancing the overall composition's beauty and dynamism.
Venus, as the goddess of love, beauty, and fertility, represents the ideal of beauty during the Renaissance period.
This masterpiece utilizes various techniques to create a captivating sense of depth, movement, and proportion.
The use of color and light results in a chromatic balance that emphasizes Venus' beauty and creates a sense of harmony.
The dark outlines and two-dimensional effect add to the painting's allure and create a striking contrast against the chevron-like shapes on the ocean, which suggest movement and dynamism.
The painting's proportions, with exaggerated elongated neck, arms, and stance, contribute to Venus' otherworldly beauty, while the dark horizon line and landscape in the far distance add depth to the painting's composition.
At 1.72 by 2.78 meters, this work was likely intended for a private space and showcases Botticelli's influences from Byzantine and international Gothic styles.
The painting's many interpretations, from Neoplatonic to Christian, only add to its enduring allure.
While it may have been created to flatter the Medici family, the painting transcends its intended purpose, drawing upon a rich influence of historical and mythological themes to create something truly extraordinary.
From the delicate brushstrokes and subtle color palette to the exaggerated proportions of Venus, and the intricate details of her entourage, Botticelli's skill and attention to detail are evident in every aspect of the painting.
The symbolism imbued within the painting speaks to the complexities of Renaissance thought, capturing both the sensuality and the intellectualism of the era.
What did Venus say when she emerged from the sea in Botticelli's painting?
Finally,
a breath of fresh air. Why did the art critics praise Botticelli's Birth of Venus? Because it was a celebration of beauty and elegance. Why was Botticelli's painting of Venus so popular? Because it was a real shell-out, whether viewed as a celebration of beauty and sensuality,
a political statement,
or an exploration of the human condition. The Birth of Venus remains a timeless work of art that continues to captivate and inspire viewers today.
Before we go, I have a question for you, our viewers. Did you enjoy having my husband Peter as a special guest in today's video?
Let us know in the comments below.
We'd love to hear your thoughts. Take care with love.
And check out the full Renaissance playlist in the description below.